In today's news, Mrs. Lorna Smith made decision alone will be officially removed from NDP. Voter participation falls by 20.4%. BVI'S ERROL George, a part of delegation conducting assessments in Guyana, and the BVI remains the #1 offshore jurisdiction. We have the details of this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Stephen Payne.
That was a 9 out of 10. I know you got the service down pat.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually
you're feeling it.
Alonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites.
It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy.
Welcome everyone. It is April 27th, 2023, Thursday that is, and another edition of 284 News. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome back. Beginning our newscast on the local scene. In the day's events, Chairman of the National Democratic Party, the Honorable Marlon A. Penn, has cleared the air following the departure of the Honorable Lorna Smith to join the Virgin Islands Party government, stating that she alone made the decision unbeknownst to him and other members of the party. Penn addressed members of the media during a recently held press conference earlier today on Thursday, following what many term to be a shocking move by the Honorable Lorna Smith, who was elected as an at-large representative under the National Democratic Party ticket on Monday. Penn said Smith's decision single-handedly uprooted the plans of the NDP, the Progressive Virgin Islands Movement, and the Progressive United Parties to form a coalition government.
A time for all three of us to meet and concretize a way forward and sign off in terms of moving forward as a government. While those discussions were being had, a decision was made, as we learned during those discussions, that a decision was made by Lorna Smith, Honorable Lorna Smith, to form an alliance with the Virgin Islands Party. I want to make it very clear to the public that at no time was this discussed in terms of what the decision was made with her. That was a unilateral decision that was made, not a decision that was made of the party. The suggestions was made in the initial stages of our discussion concerning a possible alliance. We said that that is not the direction that we wanted to go at the time. We said that we will sit down, and we made a decision as an organization that we will sit down, have a discussion with the Progressive PVI'S and with the PU, and a decision was made that all three leaders would sit down, discuss, and come back to the table. And that was upended with a unilateral decision that was made by Lorna Smith to move forward and form an alliance with the Virgin Islands Party.
Honorable Penn also said that steps will be taken to officially remove Smith from the National Democratic Party, adding that her decision to form an alliance using the NDP's affiliation is not supported neither by him or any of the members of the National Democratic Party.
Her decision to form an alliance in the name of the party is not representative of the party. The party brass met last evening, and we made a decision that we're going to move forward and move steps forward to have her removed as a member of the organization. And the formal process will be done. It does not represent a coalition with the National Democratic Party and the Virgin Islands Party, and I want to make that clear to the public.
Providing a perspective on the impact of Smith's decision on the electorate, Penn said the voters felt betrayed as they voted for Smith on the decision of the National Democratic Party.
I agree with the issue of betrayal. The issue of the betrayal is very clear. We had a party meeting last night, and it was evident on the faces and from the voices of the many persons that express their displeasure, their dissatisfaction with the decision that was made by Lorna Smith, Honorable Lorna Smith. And The voters were betrayed. That persons voted on the basis of our vision, on the basis of our campaign that we exposes to the voters that, look, we are running an anti-corruption, anti-maladministration campaign. We are not in any way running to support what has happened to this country over the last 4 years. And the people bought in and identified with that message. So the issue of betrayal is real. I heard it from the many voices, the many messages that I've gotten over the last couple of days, last 16 to 18 hours that I've gotten of persons who have said to me that I will never vote again. The first time I've ever voted, I feel betrayed. That you came to me, you showed me a vision, you told me that these are the things that you want to do for us in the country and this is the direction we're going, and this happened.
Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley said the incoming government will need to work very hard in the months and years ahead to regain the confidence of the voters who did not participate in this year's election. This, as he noted, a considerable low level of participation from registered voters.
The people of these Virgin Islands believe in democracy. We believe in the people's right to elect their representatives to represent them in the House of Assembly. We believe in democratic governance because we are people who cherish freedom. I acknowledge that voter participation at the polls was lower than previous elections. The government will have to work very hard in the months and years ahead to regain the confidence of those persons who chose not to participate this time around. You have my word that we will do everything in our power to make you proud and to boost your confidence in the political system.
Viewers, when we return, we have more local news. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Is that my lunch? Is that my lunch?
We're like the coworker that doesn't eat your lunch.
I'm John. I'm John.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Today, I am doing cobble treatments with Beyond the Reef. Today, we are doing shark research. So today, we are doing whale research with Beyond the Reef. And wherever I go, I take CCT with me because my life is unlimited.
Kids, let's go! Sean, what are you doing?
I solved it. We'll buy our life insurance policy from this company and then go over here and get our home insurance. Then get our motor policy from right over here.
Or we could just get everything with CG Insurance. Save a lot of money and effort.
They do it all? Even pensions?
Even pensions.
We're like a husband that doesn't overcomplicate everything. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back, everyone. Continuing on the local scene, Chairman of the Progressive United, the Honorable Julian Fraser, R.A., has confirmed that he did indeed request to be Premier of the Virgin Islands, but only publicly admitted to the request being made to the Virgin Islands Party during discussions following the April 24th general elections. Fraser, at the time of his confirmation, was responding to questions posed by the media during a press conference which was held at Thursday by all members of the opposition. He said premiership was a non-negotiable term on the table if he was to form coalition government with the Virgin Islands Party, and he made it clear that it was his decision and he still stands by it.
After Progressive Virgin Islands movement left, in came the Virgin Islands Party, who had been calling back and forth all night. and we even had to tell them to abort on their way coming to us because Progressive Virgin Islands was there. When they came, I told the Virgin Islands Party in no uncertain terms, absolutely no uncertain terms, and this is what I'm saying, I have no regrets and I have no apologies. The only way I'll work with you guys is if I am the Premier. No other way. And that couldn't happen until I had gone to my colleagues here sitting with me, who I find that's my first alliance, my first obligation is to NDP and Progressive Virgin Islands movement. Of course, it's obvious that nothing came out of that.
Honorable Fraser said his stance with having premiership with the VIP is not to blame for what transpired with no coalition government being formed. He said the sole blame for such was the unexpected move by the Honorable Lorna Smith, who opted to join the VIP to give them the majority, moving their total number of seats from 6 to 7, the number constitutionally needed to form a government.
Following morning, I mean, we're talking about 2 o'clock at this time. We're talking about 2 o'clock in the morning at this time. The following morning, the first thing I did, because I hadn't met with the NDP, the first thing I did was I called the chairman of the NDP and told him that we need to meet in order to resolve this matter. We have to form the government today, no later than today. Him and I met, we had our discussions, and as far as I am concerned, and as far as he will tell you, we had an amicable discussion. I met with the chairman of the PVI'S shortly thereafter, and he will tell you we had an amicable discussion. I think before he got to where he was going, I got a call telling me that the National Democratic Party member had gone. I have no control over their members. I know where PU members are. They're here 100%. I have no control over what their members do. So when people are on the street saying that Fraser is the reason and Fraser is that, I mean, it's nothing could be farther from the truth. And that's why we are not the government today, because the National Democratic Party candidate has defected. 6 of us are here. If any one of you need my glasses to count, it's 6. We needed 1 more to form the government. That's why we're not the government.
Chairman Fraser also made it known that an amicable proposition was made between the 3 opposition parties, which was to be finalized at the time of 3 p.m. meeting on Wednesday, which never got the opportunity to materialize.
Suffice it to say that an amicable proposition was made between us, and if any of them want to say what it is, they can, but I'm not going to be the one to do that.
So you're saying you're going to leave in the minds of the people that you wanted the premium, because they said it came to an amicable position. The only thing that remains in the minds of the people at this time, well, you all are not in government, is because you said, according to what's on the road, that you wanted to be premium. Are you prepared, sir, to let that remains in the minds of the people without you saying exactly what this amicable position is and what your position is?
Yeah, I told the VIP that in no uncertain terms, that if I'm going to be a part of anything that they're in with them, I have to be the Premier. I told that to the VIP. What I told my colleagues here that I told you was amicable stays between us unless one of them wants to tell you what it is.
While Honorable Fraser was adamant that he was not going to disclose the terms of what he labeled to be an amicable proposition, Progressive Virgin Islands Movement newly at-large elect the Honorable Stacey Mather took matters into his own hands by being candid with the public. He confirmed that he was present at several of the meetings, and while Fraser did not put to rest the rumor that his premiership position was the stalemate that prolonged an agreement to form a coalition government between the now opposition parties, Mather said the tone of the meetings certainly suggested that Fraser also wanted to be premier under the NDP-PVI'S-PU coalition government.
I stand with what Honorable Penn said and Honorable Skelton said. I was in the room when the NDP met. No discussions went on about ministries while I was in that room, okay? I also want to say that when I met with my 3 colleagues and we went to Honorable Fraser, the tone in the room suggested that Honorable Fraser wanted to be the premier. When we came downstairs, one of his colleagues said to us that he wants the wheel of the country. I want to make that clear. I also want to make clear that when the Virgin Islands party came to meet with the 3 of us, the premier asked for me to be removed from the room under the orders of other member that was there with him. No offer was made to me until I refused, or chairman said that I would not leave the room.
Continuing on, the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Legal Affairs in Guyana, Mohabair Nandal, on Tuesday, April 25, 2023, met with a visiting delegation from the Financial Intelligence Unit of Trinidad and Tobago and the British Virgin Islands. The delegation comprised of Mr. Nigel Studdard, Acting Director of FIU Trinidad and Tobago, and the Virgin Islands' very own Mr. ERROL George, Director of Financial Investigation Agency in the British Virgin Islands. Accompanying the Honorable Attorney General were Mr. Matthew Langvane, Director of the FIU Guyana, and Mr. Romel St-Hele, Anti-Money Laundering, Combating the Financing of Terrorism Officer attached to the Attorney General's chambers. The visiting delegation is currently in Guyana conducting an on-site visit with regards to Guyana's application to join the Agmont Group of FIU. Subsequent to their visit, the delegation will provide a report to the Agmont Group in July of 2023 in Dubai for consideration. Now, viewers, if successful, this will enable Guyana to join Egmont Group in early 2024. Guyana's joined to this important international institution will significantly enhance its FIU institutional capabilities to access international platforms and to receive and be able to disseminate vital information and intelligence in, of course, relation to organized crime, terrorist financing, and other local and cross-border illicit activities. The delegation commended Guyana on its current AML CFT framework and the consistent exchange of information and cooperation within the domestic network. Now, the delegation also hailed Guyana's FIU for executing memoranda of understanding with almost all of its counterparts across the Caribbean region and other key stakeholders. During their visit, the delegation met with Finance Secretary, the Special Organized Crime Unit, the Customs Anti-Narcotic Unit, the Director of Public Prosecutions, representatives from the Bank of Guyana, Guyana Securities Council, and the Guyana Revenue Authority. They are also scheduled to meet with reporting entities, including the commercial banks and the Guyana Immigration Service. The Honorable Attorney General thanked the delegation for their timely visit. He informed them of various pieces of legislation currently in draft to strengthen and update Guyana's AML CFT regime and to meet the Financial Action Task Force international standards, which of course include amendments to the Principal AML CFT Act, a bill to create, of course, the agency as a supervisory authority for unsupervised entities, and a draft real estate bill, which will provide the regulatory framework for real estate agents as well as developers. The Honorable Attorney General indicated that he is optimistic that the delegation's visit and input will help accelerate Guyana's application to join the Egmont Group, as Guyana is becoming a sophisticated economy attracting large investments, and therefore the importance of creating a strong regulatory framework to protect its growing financial sector of paramount importance to the government and the people of Guyana. Viewers, when we return, we have more local news. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Is someone gonna get that?
Hello.
Hello.
So nice of you to have cleaned up for us. Hi, baby.
We're like in-laws that don't show up unannounced.
Don't worry, I've got this.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this thing like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
She? I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hop. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Andy, turns out I'm allergic to the Australian veggie spread.
Ooh, thankfully CG will cover you anywhere in the world. Remember when I went to Australia for my title fight? Trust me when I say you do not want to get in the ring with a kangaroo. It wasn't until my victory dinner with the Sultan that I realized top shelf caviar doesn't agree with me. But I was covered. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm teaching your cousin how to use a flamethrower. Woohoo!
Medical cover anywhere in the world. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking with us. On to the final leg of our newscast, the recently published VISTRA 2030 report, Preparing a New Era of Globalization, reveals that the British Virgin Islands maintains its position as the top offshore jurisdiction. The report implies that the consistent top rankings may show that businesses and investors prefer established and proven jurisdictions. Since the report's inception in 2010, the BVI has consistently ranked among the top 5 jurisdictions. The United States, United Kingdom, Hong Kong, and Singapore have also maintained their spots in the ranking, representing onshore and midshore jurisdictions, respectively. Elise Donovan, CEO of BVI Finance, expressed satisfaction with the BVI's continued top-ranking position, stating that it demonstrates the BVI's solid reputation as a reliable intermediary for cross-border trade, investment, and business. The report emphasizes the success of established financial centers in maintaining their leading positions in the global industry. The fund and corporate services industry is increasingly important for businesses in the current global economic turbulence. The report also notes a gradual recovery in confidence for conducting cross-border business following the pandemic, war, and other global crises. Now, of the respondents, viewers, some 52 were optimistic about the firm's growth prospects and had a positive outlook on global growth. Growth in the funds industry, M&A activity, and asset protection were identified as the top drivers of the expansion for the next 12 months. Additionally, 50% of the respondents anticipate a significant increase in client demand for digital asset-related services. Now, the majority of respondents also believe that ESG reporting requirements will become the global norm in 2027. Economic changes, of course, the geopolitical upheaval, were ranked as the most significant constraints on growth for future. Based on a survey, 600 professionals, and 20 in-depth interviews with industry leaders, the report indicates that the global business environment has changed dramatically in recent years, with the industry adapting to meet new demands. Globalization, that is, evolving from a one-size-fits-all approach to a more complex regional-based model. As the world moves towards 2030, the report highlights the complexity and potential volatility of increasing aforementioned. It also mentioned that the rules promoting openness may erode due to a zero-sum competition and protection. However, globalization, of course, slowdown are not permanent. The global regulatory corporation could regain momentum. Expertise from fund and corporate services providers will be essential in navigating, of course, this particular complex regulatory landscape. In conclusion, the report also, which is extremely important, emphasizes that the sector will thrive, offering a wider range of services based on a global mindset. Elise Donovan noted that the VISTRA 2030 report aligns closely with the British Virgin Islands Financial Services Commission and Finance Report. Globalization, the British Virgin Islands' contribution to global prosperity in an uncertain world. Now, viewers, this report underscores the continued need for expert, neutral, and innovative centers like the BVI to support cross-border trade as well as the mobility in an uncertain future. 80 yards of concrete were poured in just under 3 hours at the Joint Marine Shore Base building, Manual Reef Tortola. Now, the concrete pours marks completion of the foundation works. The substructive phase of the building. Works will now switch to the superstructure with the construction of block and column work for ground floor. To date, all works have been implemented in accordance with the construction drawings and technical specifications. Project manager Alicia Joseph said, and I quote, "We are cultivating relationships, that is, with the clients and stakeholders to deliver a building that is conducive for all occupants in the delivering of the territory's border security agenda." Now, the project, that is, requirements include the construction of a new 2-story reinforced concrete building measuring some 5,656 square feet. Of course, gross and auxiliary works to include a sewer treatment are on the way, boat rack platform and civil works. This particular site, viewers, will be the home of the joint operations of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, His Majesty's Customs and Immigration, to protect the territory's borders from illegal immigration, narcotics, smuggling, and illegal importation. The project is estimated to be completed in February of 2024. The construction of the new joint marine shore base building, its infrastructure, and boat storage platform is a continuation of the RDA's Security and Safety for All subsector of its Good Governance program. This particular project is jointly funded by the Government of the Virgin Islands and the United Kingdom Office through the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. Viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. I want to thank you so much for keeping up to date with us for our daily news updates at 284media.com. And of course, you can like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. I will see you again tomorrow. Do have a beautiful rest of the day. A happy Thursday. Goodbye.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, son.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man, forget you.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Looks like Johnny's ex-girlfriend finally found my car.
You've got CG. You're fine. I'll never forget the year those monkeys stole my car. They drove it over a cliff, burned the seats, and carved the words pineapple banana smoothie into all the doors. And that was after they used it for the bank heist. I don't blame them. It's their favorite smoothie, and I refuse to share the recipe.
No deductible for theft, malicious damage, and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
There goes my new car. Guess I'm back on my bike.
Your bike? CG offers new car replacement. Remember my monster truck days? Well, one night I attempted a 50-foot pogo double backflip. I landed it and went to karaoke. It wasn't until afterward that my car got hit by that fisherman. He gave me some great mahi-mahi, though. Anyway, they paid fast and got me in a new car. Now call a cab. I want you to meet my alpaca guy.
New car replacement for the first year of ownership. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Angie, how can I get my claims paid quick? Rent's due next week.
CG processes 99% of claims within 5 days.